Okay, so you're dating a man. He's kind, he's intelligent, he treats you well. On paper, he looks like a good man.
He's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
But for some reason, he's always a little disorganized, just a little unmotivated. Like he's a little behind on things he should already be handling. And at first, it doesn't bother you, because you think he's just in a season. I'll help him a little bit. I'll remind him a little. It's no big deal. And then one day, you realize you're not just dating him, you're managing him. And before anybody gets offended, I'm not talking about being supportive. I'm talking about being responsible. Because at some point you look up and realize you're his lover, his secretary, and his mother. And that will wear you out, sis. Wear you completely out. I'm talking about the kind of tired where you're always thinking ahead. You're always planning. You're managing moods. You're making the plans. You're handling the schedules. You're remembering whatever he forgot. You're keeping the house together because you're trying to make life run smoothly. And meanwhile, he's just existing. He's just there. And that's not love, sis. That's labor. That is hard work. Manual, emotional labor. And the wild part is most of us don't call this imbalance what it is. We just call it love. Because I'm going to hold him down. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to help him grow. Because a good woman builds, right? We're supposed to help him build. So you start doing everything. And you don't even realize you are slowly becoming a parent in the relationship. Here's the truth. You should not feel responsible for regulating another adult's emotions in a romantic relationship. Now, support is normal. Care is normal. But carrying someone emotionally, again, that's not love. That's not intimacy. That's hard labor. And labor will always drain you. It will always wear you out. And here's where things usually get a little confusing, because when we get into relationships, we're taught to focus on things like love languages. What are your love languages? How do you receive love? And how can I make them feel supported? And how can I show up better? Those conversations matter. But if we're really being honest, we sometimes are asking the wrong questions too early. So forget the love languages for a second. I need to know, can this person function as an adult without me managing them? And that's a question you need to ask. Can that man function without you managing him? Because there's no amount of affection that makes up for inconsistency. There's no love language to fix a lack of initiative, and there is no amount of chemistry that replaces responsibility. So before we start asking, how do you like to be loved? What are your love languages? We need to ask, do you take care of your own life? That's the real question. Do you follow through without reminders? Do you handle your responsibilities without needing supervision? And when things need to be done, do you step up or do you step back? Because love is beautiful, but love without maturity, again, that's labor. That is hard labor. And that's how women end up exhausted in relationships that look good on the outside. And sis, I'm here to tell you that dynamic, that will always cost you. It's going to always cost you something. It's going to cost you your softness, it's cost you your peace, your desire, because it's hard to feel romantic towards someone you constantly have to manage. That's why women start feeling irritated and disconnected. Sometimes we just feel numb, just don't feel anything. And it's not because they don't love him, but because they're tired of carrying what he should be holding. He should be carrying this, not you. And it starts showing up in little ways, little ways that add up after a while. You reminded him about things he should already know. You following up behind him like a manager. You cleaning up whatever he leaves behind. You planning everything, because if you don't, nothing happens. And you start asking yourself questions like, why do I have to remind you to handle your own responsibilities? Why do I have to keep explaining basic effort to a grown man? And my favorite, why do I feel like I'm talking to a child right now? How are you leading at work, but at home you need me to tell you everything? And the worst part is, you start thinking you're the problem, like you're asking for too much. But you're not asking for too much, you're asking for an adult. So here's the question. Are you in a relationship, or are you running a household with a boyfriend in it? Because partnership feels shared. Parenting, on the other hand, that feels like weight on your back. It's heavy. If this is hitting home, don't judge yourself, because a lot of women were taught to call imbalance love. But now you see it. And seeing it means you get to choose differently. So just think about it. Because from here on out, you get to decide what you'll tolerate. So here's what I recommend you do next. Give yourself space to think differently. Take some time to think differently. And meet me in the next video.